What is good, YouTube? This is your boy Aaron,
It's Brian.
and this is the Courtside View Podcast, and we are back today to discuss the NFL. And just like the previous Tuesdays, we got more NFL trades. The NFL trade deadline was today, and man, we have a lot of movement, a lot of players being moved that we need to discuss. And boy, oh boy, the landscape of the NFC has changed a lot. Let's talk about it. So, looking at the trades, Za'Darius Smith, this was pretty much like in play for a good minute now. It's been rumored that he has been in trade discussions going to the Detroit Lions. So, not too surprising there. I'm a bit disappointed because Za'Darius Smith keep going to my rivals, my team rivals, going from the Vikings, and then he went to the freaking Lions. And you know, another thing, how ironic that he was a Raven drafted with the Ravens, and then he went to the rival Browns. It's like, damn, you just love going to rival teams. These teams just love trading for him. It's ridiculous. But that was just obvious. Khalil Herbert, he got traded to the Bengals. Good, a good solid backer for them. Zach Moss is going to be out for a while with a neck injury, so they needed a running back to back up Chase Brown, who's been playing pretty well for them. We're gonna get to later on, but Jonathan Mingo got traded to the Cowboys. This one made absolutely no sense. We'll talk about that a little bit later. This was a bombshell. Marshon Lattimore got traded to the Washington Commanders. What a hell of a trade. That could change a lot of things. They needed
I hate it.
a top corner, and he fits the bill for them. Mike Williams got traded to the Steelers. I mean, okay. Like, all right. He hasn't been much good in recent memory. So, I mean, hey, he's like a depth piece, I guess, in case somebody gets injured. Preston Smith, my Packers. This was like a salary dump, pretty much. He's up there in age, hasn't really been all that good. He goes from the Packers to the Steelers, goes back to a 3-4 scheme. We're running a 4-3. He's more of a 3-4 linebacker, pass rusher. So he goes to a situation where he's more comfortable with in the scheme wise. The Rams trade Trey White to the Ravens. I mean, okay. I don't think Trey White's all that good. He's had better days. His better days are kind of numbered. He's more mid-tier type of corner to me. But hey, he's better than what they have. So I guess that's not a significant upgrade, but it is an upgrade. And the Texans trade Khalil Davis to the 49ers. I'm not really
Khalil,
familiar
who?
with. He's the D tackle from the Texans. I'm not really
Oh,
familiar with him too much, how good he is, but he's a D tackle. I guess the 49ers, they need more depth at their D tackle position. So hey, why not put him with the 49ers? And that's what they did. So that's all the moves from the trade deadline. Um, I want to talk about what was the most significant move that you can point to, Brian, from the trade deadline? Like, what team made the most significant move?
hmm. I want to say it's a tie between the Lions and Commanders because those are obviously top dogs in the NFC, and they traded for solid players in the position that they needed. Granted, Marshon Lattimore was dealing with an injury. I think it's a hamstring or something, but he'll be ready to play. I think. And like we all said, the Lions need pass rush ever since Aiden Hutchinson went down. They went and got Za'Darius Smith, he's kind of old, but Unc still got a little bit left in the tank. So
5.5 sacks.
yeah,
He has 5.5 sacks right now, and it's only
exactly,
9 games, so that's pretty good.
exactly. And that Aaron Glenn defense has really been stepping up lately, and I think he's going to fit right in. I mean, it's not like he's a stranger to um, NFC North football. You know, he's been on the Vikings. He's been on. Yeah, he's been on the Vikings. So now he's on the Lions. So great move for them. I'm gonna say I'd edge it to the Lions because they are the number one team in the NFC right now. I'm gonna say Lions made the most significant move.
I mean, you make a great point. I think it does help their defensive line, even though their defensive line was already good. Even without Aiden Hutchinson, it was pretty solid. It's definitely going to free him up on one-on-ones. Like their defensive tackles are pretty good. Like they're really really good. So that's going to help him a lot when going one-on-ones as a pass rusher. But I think Marshon Lattimore, in my opinion, is the more significant move because he addresses a significant need for the Commanders. And I think even though Marshon Lattimore is dealing with the injury, they're not going to need him right away because I think they're 7-2 right now. Like the Commanders are far and away like leading the division. I think they're the number 2 seed in the NFC right now. So he can I wouldn't say he needs to they need to rush him per se. Like they can just save him for later down the road. And he is a Pro Bowl corner. And when he's healthy, he's one of the best corners in the NFL. And we talked about him in previous years, how great he is. I think we did our cornerback tier list. We were talking glowingly about him. He is still really good. I was looking at some stats, his coverage stats. I think he only gave up like 83 yards. This and like he's been tremendous this year when healthy, and I think he will really add to this already overachieving Dan Quinn defense. I will say that because we thought they were going to be a lot worse. We thought they were going to be one of the worst defenses in the NFL, but they've actually played a lot better than we thought. And they're a middle of the pack defense, but that's still better than what the talent that they have on the field. And adding him, a Pro Bowl caliber corner who could play man to man, he's a lot different than when they got Josh Norman, who was more of a zone corner. He couldn't play much man to man. Marshon Lattimore, that number one receiver, don't worry about it because he'll handle his own. He'll hold his own. I just think this move is going to really propel them far. I don't think this will make them like Super Bowl contenders, but this significantly helps their defense. I think Za'Darius Smith does help the Lions defense, but not to the degree that Marshon Lattimore will help to the Commanders defense. Because now um they don't have to have their first round corner that they have, 2023 first round corner that they have. They don't have to have him freaking guarding AJ Brown, CD Lamb, and all these top receivers anymore. He could actually be the slot corner. He could actually be the number 2 cornerback. And their other corner that was getting cooked by Zay Flowers, getting cooked by all these different receivers. Now he doesn't have to be the guy guarding the number 1 receiver. It could actually be Marshon Lattimore, which is great because those corners for the Commanders are garbage. So that's great. That's really great. Um, I need to talk about this too, man. So the Packers, Preston Smith again. I already said it's a salary dump. I don't really need to address too much on that. I gotta talk about your Cowboys, bro. What's going on, man? What's going on? Because you traded a 4th round pick for Jonathan Mingo. I don't get it. I don't understand why would you give up a 4th round pick for Jonathan Mingo? And you trade, but in previous years you traded away Amari Cooper and only got back a 5th round pick. And the Washington Commanders were able to trade for Marshon Lattimore and only give up, what was it? It was like 3rd round and some late round picks. I just don't understand what the Cowboys are doing. Can you just help me like understand what is going on in Dallas? Because there were some other moves that happened. I think Jordan Phillips, one of
He was
that you
terrible.
guys picked up. He got released, and it was somebody else that I think got released as well. Like,
Andrew
what's
Booth.
going on with Dallas? What is going on?
Um, if you've seen the clip of Dak Prescott on the sidelines of that Falcons game, that's what's going on. And it's the pure fact that this might be the worst ran org in all of sports. Like I'm
All right,
so
you gotta
serious.
calm down. You gotta calm
Like
down.
no, I'm so
Panthers,
serious. I'm so serious.
one of the
This,
worst.
this the if the Panthers is the worst org, how did they fleece the Cowboys? You got fleeced by the worst. No, I'm sorry. I'm not giving these dudes
The
no
Raiders.
bail or nothing. No, at least the Raiders could be like, oh, we could draft Shador and start off from blah blah blah. The Cowboys, they're cooked food. Let me tell you something. As long as Jerry Jones is running this show, I don't think a Cowboy fan should go buy any tickets. They shouldn't buy any merch. They shouldn't even waste their time watching the games on Sunday. Go be productive, get on Red Zone, and stress about fantasy football like I'm doing at this point. Because the Cowboys have gave us nothing to believe in this year. Dak Prescott's going on IR. It's gonna be Cooper Rush. Y'all think he about to pull a 2021? No, it ain't happening. The O-line's playing bad. Mike McCarthy's play calling trash. Defense, I don't know what they doing out there. I mean, it's just ridiculous at this point. There is not an ounce of hope left for this team. And this move right here is just the lowest of the low. In all of my years of being a Cowboys fan, I have never seen such incompetence in my life. This season was a failure from top to bottom, and they tried to reel people in, got them drinking the Kool-Aid, thinking this team was going to go somewhere. This season is cooked. I want all the Cowboys fans to please, please, please do anything besides watch the Cowboys on Sundays. I don't care if they play Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, that game on Thanksgiving will be background noise. I want y'all to not even look. Just talk to your family. Forget football for when that time slot come on for that Cowboys game. This Jonathan Mingo trade, I just don't understand. He couldn't even get cracked. He couldn't even get run on the Panthers. He was wide receiver 5 on the Panthers, bro. Like oh my gosh. And then you give up a 4th round pick for him. Why?
I
Did
don't
you
get it.
even?
Could have used that for you could have used that for a potential, steal in the draft. Because you guys be stealing guys in the draft, so I don't understand it.
Like literally late round picks is our specialty. You're just gonna give one away from this dude. Now I know I could see, we control his rights or whatever for 2 years, blah blah blah. But bro, he's just not good. Like he's not even better than Jalen Tolbert. So how much is he really gonna contribute? And it's like, I know quarterback play can make a difference, blah blah blah. But shoot, Deontay Johnson was still able to put up numbers. Xavier Legette scoring touchdowns. Jonathan Mingo got 12 catches on the season. You gave up a 4th round pick for him? That's a practice squad player. 12 catches? Nah, man. Jerry, they completely lost me with this one. If nothing else told me that the season was cooked, this move right there told me the season was cooked. Jerry Jones, you have completely lost it.
Damn.
I'm done.
I want to say this.
I'm looking draft. It's draft season, man.
Hey, I want to say this for all the Cowboys fans. Listen, on Thanksgiving, whatever you do not turn on the Thanksgiving game. Go turn on like Charlie Brown or something like that. But whatever you do not watch the Thanksgiving game because it's not worth it at all. You're just going to waste your time. Cooper Rush, Daniel Jones. Do you really want to put yourself in just a terrible state on a joyous holiday where it's good food, you're around your family, you might have some good conversations with a bunch of cousins, you know what I'm saying? A bunch of aunties, your uncles. Enjoy that. Don't nothing crazy like watch that game because I'm telling you right now, it's a waste of time. Is damn near disrespectful. First of all, that they have the Giants on Thanksgiving and not the Commanders when you know that Jaden Daniels is drafted to Commanders. I mean, that would have been
I
much
don't know if
better
they
to
can
watch.
do the same matchup 2 years in a row.
Well, that's dumb.
Because last year we had the Commanders.
Yeah, well, that's dumb. At least put the Eagles on there, like the freaking Giants. Like that's the last team I would want on my television screen. That's just me, especially on primetime TV. But hey, you know what, Fox? They decided it that way, and we're just gonna have to have another horrible Thanksgiving. Besides the Lions, I think the Lions and the Packers play each other on Thanksgiving. So, I mean, that's the only game we can really look forward to. I forget the other game that's on later. I think NBC has a game, but regardless. Yeah, man. Thanksgiving as a Cowboy fan, just don't turn the game off. Honestly, turn your notifications off. Matter of fact, delete the app, delete the ESPN app, delete all the NFL apps. Anything that has notifications for the NFL, delete it unless it's like fantasy. Fantasy is all right, but I'm just saying, like, just enjoy your Thanksgiving because it's not going to be pretty if you're watching the games. So that
Actually,
is
it's the
my
Bears
public
and
service
Lions on
announcement.
Thanksgiving, and then Packers
Ooh.
Dolphins.
Wait, Packers Dolphins on Thanksgiving? Oh,
That's
yeah.
the prime
Okay.
time game.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank God we're not playing the Lions on Thanksgiving. My God. Oh my God. We about to see Caleb Williams running for his life. Good God. Oh man. Yeah. All right. Well, anywho, let's get to the games, man. That'll do it on the trade deadline special. Boy. All right. I mean, Cowboys, Falcons, we kind of already touched on it when it comes to the Cowboys. I mean, good God. Kirk Cousins was fantastic this game. I mean, 3 touchdown passes. He was phenomenal this game. The dude, he just keeps getting better and better each week, it seems like. And
Yeah,
ever since I called him out for putting him on the fraud watch list, he's answered the call. He's been playing tremendous football. 3 touchdown passes, 19 for 24 passing, 222 yards. Quarterback rating of 144 passer rating of 144. Man, this dude has been tremendous. He's been absolutely outstanding. And yeah, I know you don't want to hear that because it's against your Cowboys, but yeah,
I ain't no
he was
hater.
phenomenal. He was phenomenal.
I said I wanted
Darnell
them to
Mooney.
lose.
Oh yeah, by the way, people want to blame Justin Fields for Darnell Mooney's just not playing well in Chicago. Well, the former offensive coordinator of the Chicago Bears, who was the offensive coordinator while Darnell Mooney was on the Chicago Bears, got fired. So, yeah, he got
Yeah,
fired from the Raiders of all
yeah,
teams, the Raiders. So, yeah, I mean, you can blame Justin Fields all you want, but yeah, Luke Getsy, he was the offensive coordinator for Bears, and now he's without another job. So, yeah. But yeah, man, I mean, it's not really much to say about this game. I'll let you elaborate on it if you have any thoughts.
I'm going to be brutally honest. I watched this game through Red Zone,
Me too.
so I only saw the scoring plays or whatever. Once defense, it was too much confusion going on. Offense had a bajillion penalties. Dak was getting killed behind the line in GTA. He couldn't do anything. The Falcons was bottom of the league in pressures and sacks and all that stuff, and we made them look like the freaking '85 Bears. So at this rate, I don't know. It's just everyone's using the Cowboys they see Cowboys on the schedule. They think lunch now. So and the Cowboys offense still look terrible. It was dink and dunk all on the offensive end. I don't know why, because it's not like the Falcons got this elite secondary outside of the safeties, but I don't know. It is what it is. Rico Dowdle had a good game at least.
Yeah, he's playing a lot
He had
better.
like 20 some fantasy points.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah,
other than that,
12
I'm just
attempts on 75 yards.
yep, fire
Not bad.
everybody.
Well, I guess that's all we can really say on that matter. I mean, there's not much else to really talk about with that game. So let's
Nope.
move on. Yeah, let's move. Let's move on. I want to talk about the Buffalo. So you can talk a little. You can go a little bit. Buffalo Bills versus
Arguably a
Miami
good
Dolphins.
matchup.
This was closer than I thought. I thought Buffalo was going to run away with it a little bit. They were running away with it, and then all of a sudden they just started to play with their food a little bit. And Miami was able to get back in the game, and they scored I think 14 points in the fourth quarter, and it made it like really close. But ultimately, Josh Allen, being Josh Allen, put on a Superman cape, was able to get this game, was able to get them to field goal range, and the field goal kicker made a field goal to win the game. So that's what elite quarterbacks, that's what MVP caliber quarterbacks do. When it matters most, when your back is against the wall, they got to put that Superman cape and they got to deliver when it matters most, and that's what they did. Josh Allen, 25 for 39, 3 touchdown passes, only 1 interception. He was really good. He was tremendous for them, and that's why I have him on him tier on my QB tier list for a reason.
Yeah, that was a good game. Good old in the AFC East matchup. I didn't think the game would come down to a field goal, a 61-yard field goal at that. And so I was thoroughly enjoying. I was loving it from the fantasy aspect and just the football fan aspect. And unfortunately, on the Courtside View podcast, we don't give the salutes to the losing team. But if I did, if y'all would have won, I would have gave it to Achan. But we only celebrate the winners over here.
I want to talk
so if y'all ever wonder why such and such didn't get on salute this, you got to win the game. Sorry, that's the rule.
That's fair. That's fair. I want to talk about the NFC South matchup, the Saints versus the Panthers. You know, we both picked the Saints to win this game, but boy, oh boy, they still lost. How you lose the Carolina of all teams, and that's why Dennis Allen finally got fired. I would have kept him because I'm trying to tank for a pick, and everybody has like all damn teams have only 2 wins, so why not keep a trash head coach so you can tank for a really good pick? But the locker room,
Yeah, you don't want to lose the locker room, yeah.
But
because players will be like, man, I ain't playing, blah blah blah. That stuff travels around the league and it could affect free agency, blah blah blah, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, you better all just cutting your losses. But we tried to tell the Saints fans, they ain't want to listen to us. So hey, you lost to the worst team in the league. And at least they fired Dennis Allen though, so that's now the healing process can begin.
Truly.
Next on the chopping block should be Derek Carr.
And Derek Carr, that was his coach in Oakland. Well, when they were at Oakland, he went the Raiders, and Dennis Allen got fired while Derek Carr was the quarterback. And lo and behold, he gets fired again, and Derek Carr is the quarterback.
A decade later.
Very interesting, huh? A certain trend is going on right now. Yeah. All right, let's go to the Raiders versus the Bengals, and boy, oh boy, the Raiders. Good God Almighty. So Burrow back again, playing amazing football, 5 touchdown passes, and the Raiders, dude, like. Good God. First of all, the fact that after the game, Antonio Pierce decided, you know what, I got to fire the OC. I got to fire the offensive line coach. We got to figure something out. So and then I think somebody asked him, okay, have you decided who's going to be calling plays? And he was like, we're going to have a meeting about it and we're going to decide. I think it was like 24 to 48 hours from now. Like, what? And like, I think the favorite is like Scott Turner. And if you know about Scott Turner, especially if you're a Commanders fan, you know that dude is one of the worst play callers in
I thought it was
the
North
NFL.
Turner.
He's going to be an assistant. He's going to be like, they hired him as like, I don't know if North Turner and Scott Turner are related or not. I would assume they are, especially, I mean, it kind of makes sense.
Scott is going to be, you was right,
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
North Turner's the offensive assistant.
So you go from trash to
garbage.
Like what is supposed to change? Like, he's not all that good, and I don't see much of a difference. Like, your quarterbacks stink. The offensive line isn't going to all of a sudden get better. I just think this is just a colossal disaster, and Antonio Pierce is trying to point a finger at somebody to why they're losing the game when, in fact, you're the one that hired you're the one that hired the staff. So I
I mean,
mean, they gave you
honestly,
all the power in the world. So I don't see how this makes a difference.
people. I know everyone loves a feel good story, but that Antonio Pierce hire, nah, that ain't it, y'all.
Yeah, I agree.
People
No,
fell for the
it was a feel
story. The
good
locker
story.
room rallied around him, but he wasn't head coach material.
It's more to it than just being a motivational speaker. It's about X's and O's. It's about identifying talent, identifying good head coaches that will come in and make your team better. And it just seems like he hasn't found that yet. And he has a bunch of baggage coming in as well. Like it's just not a good sign.
Oh yeah, and he recently the whole he's like banned from coaching for like 8 years in college or
Yeah,
something like
in
that.
college in the NCAA,
Yeah.
yeah. So he just comes with a whole lot of baggage, a whole lot of trauma, and typical Raiders. I just really hope that Shador or and Cam Ward are able to avoid that franchise because it's just whatever quarterback gets drafted to the Raiders, whatever good player, good college player gets drafted to the Raiders, 9 times out of 10, they get infected by that stench and they're just not able to recover. You have to be a special person in order to survive the Raiders. Like Brock Bowers, he's different. Max Crosby, he's different, but it's not many people like them. They're just built different. That is a
It
rarity.
is true.
Once every
Yeah.
blue moon type of prospects, type of
Yeah.
players, type of mindset that I don't
Speaking of
see.
speaking of QBs, the Raiders, I need to have a discussion on Saturday when we get to next time we record Saturday. Because I'm gonna be honest with y'all, there's really only one QB I would take in the top 10
You
with
not believe in
confidence.
Cam Ward? It really depends on where they get drafted at the end of the day. Like I don't think any QB can survive the Raiders. I really don't.
I think if any can, I think Shador could. Simply
I
off the
guess
fact
he is the
that
best bet.
I think like people like confused. Oh, in Vegas and all of that stuff. But I feel like playing in Colorado, like literally turned that program into like a legitimate, like the media as soon
A
as him and
powerhouse.
Dion, yeah, exactly, like turned them into like they was under the magnifying glass. So I don't think playing in Vegas would really be that drastic of a difference. I guess it would be more stuff to do in Vegas off the field, obviously, but I think he'd be
Yeah.
all right.
Oh, okay. All right.
The question
And
is, does Dion even want him to play in Vegas?
that's a good point. I don't. That's a really good point. That'll be the discussion later down the road how that materializes. So let's go to the Chargers versus the Browns. We both picked the Chargers this game
Oh my
as
goodness,
we
Jameis
predicted.
Winston.
Jameis Winston, predictable. That one game wonder. That was an amazing story. But now you're playing a team that actually plays good defense, and they exposed him. Justin Herbert, he was tremendous this game. He was able to manage the game, 282 yards passing. J.K. Dobbins, he was amazing on the ground game.
You
Quentin
see,
Johnston, I mean,
listen,
118 receiving yards.
hey, they wrote him off. They
I mean,
really
he's
did.
still all right. Let's be honest. Like before that game, he's been very quiet. he had an
Well, he
amazing
wasn't he
game,
hurt?
first 100 yard. Nah, I mean he's been playing. He just hasn't been all that good.
You
He
sure?
hasn't been all that good. I kid you not. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I could have sworn he was on the floor. He was on the field, and he just
Let
hasn't
me
been really
see.
producing all that much. That was his first one. I think that was his first 100-yard game.
Let me look at his stats. Oh wait, I need to look at game log. He No, he was hurt. He ain't played since the 13th last
Oh,
of
really?
October. Yeah, he was hurt.
Hmm. I mean, well, just looking at his stats, it ain't all that impressive. I mean,
True, but I mean, hey, he's getting there.
I guess.
Hey,
I'm not
listen,
going to
listen.
hang
Some
my hat
motion
on.
better than no motion.
That is true. Hey, 118 yards is 118 yards. regardless
And a
of how you say
touchdown.
it. Hey, but yeah, the Chargers are 5-4 right now, so they're looking all right. I'm still not all the way sold with that offense, but five and
Yeah,
four is 5-4. They're still in the thick of things
they
of the
getting it done.
playoff picture. So, and their defense is really good. So, hey, they have an identity. They know what they want to do. That's all you can ask for from a team. Do you have an identity? Do you know what you want to do on offense? And it seems like they understand what they want to do, and defensively as well. Do they understand him? That's all you can ask for when it comes to a team, a football team, NFL team. I want to go to the Commanders versus the Giants. The Commanders, they were just cooking the Giants, and then all of a sudden the Giants started to come back. But ultimately, the Commanders, they were able to prevail at the end. Jaden Daniels, 209 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Jaden Daniels being Jaden Daniels, he's been tremendous this entire season, and he still is taking good care of the football. As a rookie, has been very tremendous in taking care of the football, unlike a certain Green Bay quarterback that
Uh-oh.
we'll discuss a little bit later. But man, he's really impressed me. The Giants, Daniel Jones finally threw a touchdown pass in MetLife for the first time in I don't know how long, how many games.
600 and I want to say 640 days or something, like 40 something days.
That's a long ass time. So, but regardless, they still lost, and that's all they wrote. That's all they wrote. And the
Yeah,
Commanders, they're riding high, 7-2 now.
crazy.
This
You
is
would have
this
told
is
me they
better
was
than we ever
gonna go
expected.
7-2. I'd have laughed at you, but nope.
A weak division, coaching matters. At the end of the day, coaching
Hmm.
matters. And hey, Dan Quinn warned us. He said
Ownership
this ain't
matters.
gonna be a rebuild. This is gonna be a. What did he say? It was gonna be a I forgot. He said something.
A re. He said a. Did he say a recalibration or something? I don't know.
Recalibration. There you
Yeah,
go. Recalibration. He said it's gonna be a rebuild, so it's gonna be recalibration. Well, damn it, he proved me wrong because I thought it was a bunch of BS. Damn,
yeah.
what a quote! What a quote! When they win the division and they're like the number 2 seed, I'm telling you this right now. They need to bring back that quote, do like a whole,
Oh my.
them social media teams, they be having them little hype videos. They need to put that in there because what a hell of a quote.
Oh my
Just
goodness.
the
They get a
amount of
home playoff game. FedEx Field. I mean,
yeah.
Northwestern is gonna be jumping.
Oh hell yeah. Hell fucking yeah. Man, just the amount of just attention and hype that this team is getting, like is this is way better than 2012. Like, oh my god, it's not even fucking close. 2012 was cool, but this team right here, 7-2, bro. Like that's the same record. That's a better record than the Ravens. That's on par with some of the Bills and just some of the best teams in the NFL. Like they have I think they have a top 5 record in the NFL right now. Like it's ridiculous, man. They're playing great football. Can't
Yep.
say enough about it.
Can't even
I
hate
want to
on them.
go. I want to go to. We can talk about this real quick. New England Patriots, Tennessee Titans. I had the Tennessee Titans initially, but then I went to the New England Patriots because I was like, oh, they got Drake May starting. So you know what? Let me go with the New England Patriots. I was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. Tennessee Titans won. They had Mason. Thing is, they had Mason Rudolph starting instead of
Will
your
Levis.
boy Will Levis. God, I should have picked the Tennessee. I should have stayed with my pick.
You should have.
That was a bad decision. That was such a bad decision on my part, but it is what it is. I ain't
I
tripping
mean,
about it. I ain't
you
put money
still
on
did
it.
pretty well. I got 12 games right, so
Yeah, so I just counting the games, I was right. So let me see. Falcons, Buffalo, Cincinnati, Chargers, Commanders, Ravens, Eagles, Lions, Rams, Vikings. So I got 11. I got 11. Not bad. That's shit.
it's
Hey,
not
we
bad.
doing a lot better.
Yeah,
We are doing pretty good. I don't know what
starting
I
to
don't
see
know
the
what the
script.
percentage is right now, but 11,
I'm gonna have to,
11
I'm gonna have to
games, right?
go back and tally up where we at so far.
Yeah, I'll definitely go back and tally up my score, but we've been doing really good so far this year. I mean, we had that one
It's
week
really like a
where
couple weeks where it was like, ugh.
yeah, but for the most part, we're doing pretty well right now. We're kind of on a hot streak right now, and I knew the Packers were going to lose against the Lions. Let's might as well just transition to that game. I called it. I said the Lions were going to win this game. People talk about, oh, it's the first time the Lions have played outdoors. Bullshit. It does not matter. They're a great team.
I don't
This
understand. Okay,
game,
I don't
yeah,
understand the outdoor foolishness. If the Lions were a soft team, I would understand. They are not a soft team. They can play football outdoors. Like I don't understand. If
yeah.
this was the
It's
Dolphins, we talk about okay, sure, but it's the
mhm.
freaking Lions. Like, come on now. People just say stuff.
Yeah, all these narratives and stuff. It's like, come on. Oh, can they play in the cold? Like, come on now. Like all these stupid stuff just to try to justify why they're gonna lose. Like, bro, they're a great team. We know it. They do a lot of things that's winning football. And they showed this game. What this showed is the difference between a great team and a good team. A lot
Mm,
of times people use the term great so loosely, but great should be you have to be very selective on using that term great, because great means you're the upper echelon, you are the team to beat, or you are close to being the best team in the league. And the Detroit Lions, what they showed against the Packers is that they're head and shoulders the best team in the NFC, and they can rival the Kansas City Chiefs because Jared Goff, yet again, he didn't even have to do a whole lot, but he didn't turn the ball over. He was efficient. He was efficient as a passer. Just looking at his stats real quick. Jared Goff has been on just a completion. He's just been going insane when it comes to his completion percentage. He was 18 for 22 in completions, 109 passer rating. He didn't really have to do much. I mean, 145 yards passing, one touchdown, but it didn't matter because the defense played well, the run game was tremendous, and situationally they did the things they needed to do in order to win, and that's all you could really ask for. What makes Jared Goff great is that whatever the game demands from him, he delivers. And that's what you need from your quarterback. And that's what Tom Brady talks about all the time, about understanding what the game, what how the game flows and stuff. Pretty much the term like um scratch that. Just what the game demands, pretty much. What the game demands, that's what you do. If it's a defensive battle, don't put the ball in harm's way. Don't take risk. Manage the game. If it's a more high scoring game, all right, we're going to have to sling it a little bit more. But Jared Goff, at this stage of his career, he's in his prime, clearly. It just seems the game has slowed down from him so much compared to when he was with the Rams. He just seems so unbothered. Now, the offensive line is a part of the reason why he's so comfortable right now. But and then Ben Johnson being arguably the best play caller in the NFL right now has a lot to do with it. But man, he just looks so unfazed right now. He looks tremendous. I can't say enough about Jared Goff right now. What about you? How did you feel about the Detroit Lions and Jared Goff? What did you see from that game?
I was trying to watch so many different games. I honestly didn't see as much as I should have, but from what I did see, Jordan Love still turning the football over, and the Lions continue to play turnover free football. And that's really the biggest story here. I mean, Jared Goff, like you say, he's being efficient. He's not doing too much. He's not pressing the situation. He's taking what the defense gives him, and they're relying to go into the run game. If the run ain't broke, don't fix it. Averaged David Montgomery had 4.3. Jameer Gibbs had 5.9 yards a carry. You can win football like that. That's winning football, and especially with the weather conditions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just he didn't even have to like do too much through the air, but when he did, he was efficient, and that's all you need to
Yeah,
be. All that rain and the sloppy game and all that. Hey, can't ask for nothing else, none much else. And Aaron Glenn, man, people was calling him a fraud these because his defensive performances in the past, but he's really starting to put a very thorough defense out there on the field. And people used to be like, "Oh, the line defense, they weak." You could get an upper hand on lines because defense. Them dudes just playing, they hooping. So yeah,
remember when
line great team.
Remember when the Chiefs hired Steve Spagnuolo, and the first year they were like one of the worst defenses in the NFL. They couldn't get off the, they couldn't get off the field. Like the guys, they were getting torched left and right, and Mahomes had to put on the Superman cape. But then year after year, they started to get better, and eventually, we look at him. He's a Hall of Fame coordinator. I think the same can be said about Aaron Glenn and the fact that, initially the Lions defense was food. Like it was easy
Yeah.
to put up points against the Lions defense. But now over the years, it's taken some time, but they've gotten better year after year. The personnel has gotten better. They've developed. Even without Brian Branch, the defense was still great. That just goes to show the patience and the level of coaching that the Detroit Lions have. The fact that they're patient with their coaches and they just continue to get better and better every single year. And you gotta just salute them for that. I want to talk about the Packers real quick because I thought that this game really boils down to the fact that the Packers were just not disciplined at all. 11 flags, a pick six, a missed field
Right
goal,
before
and
the
6
half
drops.
too.
Yeah, so let me get this straight. Number one, I think the Packers are one of the highest, like one of the top ranking teams in terms of most drops by wide receivers and by pass catchers. I'll even say that because the tight end he dropped a pass. Tucker Craft dropped a pass, an easy one too that would have really helped us in the game, but he dropped one, and they just weren't locked in. Like they weren't disciplined at all. Like 11 flags at home in Lambeau Field is just inexcusable. Like you cannot do that. And they showed their age this game. They showed their youth. I thought this team before the season was ready. I was wrong. They're a good team, but they're not a great team. They're a year or two away from really being considered a Super Bowl contender. I don't think they're ready yet. They're too young. Jordan Love, I felt like he should have sat. I would have sat him because the injury, he's not able to move, and he just doesn't look like the same guy that we saw from last season. And part of that is because injuries, his lower leg injuries, the groin, and I think it was a knee or something like that. He's just been dealing with a lot of injuries, and it's really affect his just velocity, his consistency throwing. And I'm glad we finally got a bye week, but I just wish we would have sat him against the Lions. I understand it's a divisional game. There's so much on the line, but I rather just, hey, we still have enough. There's still a lot of football left in the season. And yeah, we'll go 0-2, but there's still a lot more football to be played. And even let's say we don't win the division, we still have plenty of opportunities, especially if you believe in this team, believe what they're made of. But they took the risk. I'm glad he's not. I'm glad he didn't like further hurt himself in the game. But man, he just looked very sloppy this game, and I was a bit disappointed. I did like what I saw from the defense. The defense only allowed 17 points this game. Now you could say that, well, the game, like the Lions pretty much controlled the entire game. So, I mean, they were pretty much on cruise control the entire time. They really didn't have to do much offensively. But I did like what I saw from the defense. I did like some of the things I saw from the defense. But, and then also I like the ground game with Josh Jacobs. He was running the ball very effectively. But when you're down in the game by multiple scores, you're going to abandon the run because you have to score quickly. And that's the problem with the Packers. In order to beat the Lions, you cannot commit just silly penalties. You cannot have 11 flags thrown your way. You cannot do that because the Lions are going to take advantage of it every single time because they're so disciplined, they're well coached, and you got a guy in Jared Goff that's having an MVP caliber season. So they just, yeah, man, just a missed opportunity yet again.
Um, um, I know like y'all were trailing in the game and stuff, but considering the weather conditions, I don't think it's smart to let Jordan Love throw 39 times a game,
Oh,
especially when Josh Jacobs is averaging 7.3 yards a carry. And even Emmanuel Wilson averaged 7 yards a carry. So I don't know what Matt LaFleur was thinking, but hey, he's the
That
NFL
pick was
coach.
awful.
We just some dudes with laptops and a camera and microphone and stuff. So
That pick was awful, man. He needs to, like, bro, you cannot throw that. And he was taking care of the ball really well in the first half. I'm like, all right, we're only down 10-3. Maybe the second half we can get a good drive going. And he's just like he makes these just head scratching plays that you're just like, dude, why? Like, why in that predicament? Like, you're on your own, I think 20-yard line, and you throw a pick when you see that the screen game is not working. They picked it up. They understand we're running a screen. Just throw it in the dirt. Why are you trying to put on the Superman cape and think that you can get away with it? Like, oh my God. Hopefully this bye week he gets healthy and he reevaluates the way that he's playing, because right now this is not winning football. This is how you lose games more than you win games. And against Detroit, which is going to be standing in your way, you have to take care of the football. You have to be disciplined on offense. And that's the only way you're going to beat Detroit in this instance, because they're riding hot. They're the best team in the NFC for a reason. And you pointed it out before the season started. A team is going to come out of the NFC North. There's going to be a team from the NFC North that is going to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. And it looks like it's going to be the Detroit Lions.
yeah,
So that's all I got to say on that matter. Let's transition to some other games real quick. Let's see what we got here. All right, let's go to the real quick Baltimore Ravens Broncos. I picked the Ravens this game. You picked the Ravens as well. I knew the Ravens were the better team. I didn't know they were 41-10 better, but
yeah.
hey,
I
they won the
thought that
game.
9.5 point spread was a trap. They said, "Tuh,
But
that's
hey,
light work."
Lamar Jackson is Lamar Jackson. Man, another great game from Action Jackson. He had 3 touchdown passes. Derrick Henry was amazing yet again. He's Derrick Henry. They were just clicking on all cylinders. The passing game was good. The running game was good. The defense was good. Bo Nix, he went back to being first 3 weeks Bo
Hot
Nix,
and
and
cold.
that was that. Hot and cold, yeah. We're gonna get to that segment later on when I talk about Bo Nix. But yeah, man, that's all I really got to say on that matter. They were just dominant. Zay Flowers was great too. 127
Yeah.
7 yards receiving.
Did you know Zay Flowers? I believe he's fantasy receiver 4 or 5.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
That's great. He might make a Pro Bowl this year.
he
He's
should.
been good. He's been really
Yeah,
good this year. He's been their best drafted wide
pass catcher.
receiver since
Oh,
Torrey Smith. He's been
yeah.
freaking great. I can't remember the last like Pro Bowl receiver that the Ravens have drafted. Like, he's been great.
Me
Been
either.
absolutely great. So good for them, man. Let's go to the Chicago. Oh my God, yo, we got to talk about this real quick. Chicago Bears and Arizona Cardinals. What did I say last week, Brian? I said the fall off is coming. Just you
Yes, you
wait. Now, I
did.
didn't think it was gonna be this week. I should have saw the writing on the wall, because they benched Tyreek Stevenson, and when you lose the way that they lost, Hail Mary, and they're already not all that great when it comes to a coaching perspective, and then our offensive line is a bit shaky. I should have saw the writing on the wall, because the Arizona Cardinals are playing a lot better. Their trajectory is going up, while the Chicago Bears trajectory is going down. And dog, they dominated this game from start to finish. Caleb Williams was running for his life. That offensive line could protect them for nothing, man. And the Cardinals aren't even all that good up front defensively, like, and they still was able to get pressure on Caleb Williams, and they were still able to dominate that offensive line of the Chicago Bears. It's just a disaster. I saw a play, DJ Moore. They say he quit on a play. He walked off while the
Yeah,
play was
looked like
going
he
on.
did.
So, man, it's just bad overall. And I knew this was going to happen. I predicted it a week ago, and finally, it's happening right now. What was your
That
thoughts?
was that was a shocking performance, and I can't even blame Caleb on this one because look what he had to work with. The line was getting cooked by I don't even know who was on that Arizona D line at this point, and it was okay. Here was a play. DJ Moore was running an out.
Mm-hmm.
He was jogging on the break. So Caleb was trying to throw it to him. He was the first read, and DJ Moore is just jogging and slogging through the route. And Caleb was like, "I'm not throwing this. It's gonna get picked off." So
Mm-hmm.
he tried to look for Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen, instead of attacking the middle of the field, he had a choice route. Instead of
Mm-hmm.
doing a slant where it was a bunch of green, he decides to do a comeback and then decides to run back to do a streak. But Romo Dunze was already in the end zone, so he just bought. That was horrible, man. Horrible
Mm-hmm.
offense.
Let me tell
And the
you a
Bears,
stat.
people need to get fired.
Let me tell you a stat. Caleb Williams leads the NFL in off-target throws with 58.
Mm.
Yikes! It's a bad week for Chicago Bears fans. But hey, ultimately, this is Ryan Poles, Chicago organization management. This is what you signed up for. You decided to get Matt Eberflus another year when we've seen the past 2 years how his coaching has resulted not many wins. And yet again, he hires the wrong offensive coordinator, and Caleb Williams is not progressing. He is regressing. He's getting worse. You see all the progress he's making. Well, they were against bad teams. Against teams with 500 or better, isn't it interesting how the Chicago Bears offense looks pedestrian? It looks very mediocre, if not bad, against actually good teams that are trying to get in the playoffs. That's very interesting. You see what I mean? This team, bro, they're a bunch of frauds. I pointed it out. I'm not trying to hate. This is not my Packers fan trying to dunk on them or anything like that. No, like I'm being for real because look, as much as I don't like the Bears because I'm a Packers fan, at the end of the day, Caleb Williams, he's from around here, so I'm gonna be rooting for him. And I knew that Shane Waldron was going to do some mess up stuff after a couple of weeks that we've seen the offense, and also just remembering what Jackson Smith Njigba said in an interview before the season even started. He predicted this was going to happen, and God Almighty, man, it's just such a disappointment to see. It's such a disappointment.
Yeah.
How the hell do you lose to the Cardinals with that offense? With two of the worst offensive coordinators are coaching this game, and you get dubbed by this Cardinals team. You can't have it happen. And
Ran off
Marvin
the
Harrison
field
Jr.
out
wasn't
the
even getting
gate.
this game off. Marvin Harrison Jr. wasn't even getting this game off yet again because of the offensive coordinator, and they still dubbed job by 20. Good God. Fire
Before you knew it,
everybody.
the score was like 21-3.
Yup. Nothing else to say on that matter. We could put a period to that. All right, let's go to the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Eagles. Eagles, they escaped with a victory. They were dominating for a lot of the game, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, Jaguars came back, made it a game, but the Eagles were able to escape 28-23. Jalen Hurts, he had a pretty good game. Saquon Barkley continues to be my man. He's right there. Him and Derrick Henry are neck and neck, best running back in the league right now. He has
Oh
been
yeah.
tremendous. He did that reverse hurdle over
Hurdle.
somebody. Yeah, man. Dude is made out of a lab. Like, what the hell was that? Shit. But man, 159 yards rushing, even with AJ Brown going down with that injury, it's not severe, so he can potentially come back this week against the I think the Cowboys. The Cowboys play the Eagles. Devontae Smith, 87 yards receiving. Quick thoughts. You have any quick thoughts on this game?
No, not really. I mean, I picked the Eagles to win. I didn't think it would end up that close to it. I thought they was gonna wash them, but it
Yeah,
just seemed
me
like the
too.
Eagles. I don't know. They just can't seem to blow teams out when they should. There's always
Yeah,
some foolishness happens. So
Trevor Lawrence, 2 interceptions. He threw that. I think he threw an interception to Nakobe Dean. Was it? It was a
Yeah,
bad
at
one.
the
I think
on the final drive.
another
I was like,
QB.
how
That's
you throw it to? They was in good position too,
yeah,
but they was
another
driving
QB
down the
that he
field.
killed.
I'm like, okay, they might mess around. Come, nope.
Man, I gotta say this. Let's retire the the whole term of generational
Generational.
talent.
I've
Yeah,
been I've been trying to say it.
let's
How
retire
we
it
calling
because
dudes generational when it ain't even been a generation since the last generational dude?
you know who's generational? Andrew Luck. You know who's generational? Calvin Johnson. They're generational. Marvin Harrison Jr., Trevor Lawrence, Caleb Williams. They're not generational. Let's stop this. When I hear generational talent, I think of a prospect that you can put them in any scheme and they'll thrive. These guys aren't generational. They're great prospects. They're not generational. And let's leave it at that. All right, let's go to the Rams versus Seahawks. I got to give a shout out to Matthew Stafford, man. The dude, he was down Puka Nakua because he
Because Puka
did some
wanted
silliness
to
on the
steal
field,
on somebody.
and he still delivered. He still delivered. You know, they could have gave up. Seahawks could have just bowed down to the Seahawks, but nah, they were like, nah, we not gonna lose this game. This is a potential moment that can decide the division. We got to get this dub on the road in Seattle. He came through in overtime and he delivered like the
You
top
know what's
10
funny?
quarterback that he is.
He could have said, I'm gonna play for the field goal. He said, "Nah, I'm going for the kill shot
Mm,
on the road, touchdown."
mm.
Jordan Whittington, done. I had him in fantasy though, so I was happy about that. It's a shame too because the Seahawks, man, Jackson Smith and Jigba had like
He
he
was
would have
amazing.
been on the salute segment if they won. He had 180 yards and
180, 2
two touchdowns.
touchdowns.
Like,
Yep.
come on, this is the JSN I expected to see when he was coming out of Ohio State. But
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, defense couldn't
Off.
hold. Gino, no,
Yep.
Gino, oh my goodness, brother.
3 INTs, bro.
And they were
Good God.
horrible INTs too.
Good
I'm
God.
just like, what are we doing here? Like, see, I don't know, man. They Seahawks seriously need to find a successor at the QB position because Gino, he's starting to falter as his hype train is starting to decline. So yeah.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Let's transition to we got 2 more games on the docket. The Colts versus Vikings. Don't really need to say much about this. I'll say this about Sam Darnold. Look, he is what he is. He's a middle of the pack quarterback. He's okay. You put him under a good situation, he'll deliver in certain spots, but ultimately you're not going to win big with Sam Darnold. You can be a playoff team with Sam Darnold. He'll make sure that Jettis eats. He'll give Jettis the ball. Justin Jefferson is Justin Jefferson, and they won the game. The Colts aren't that good. Joe Flacco, he's a backup for a reason, and that's all I can really say on that matter. Pretty
Yeah,
much.
that game was a snooze fest. I mean, good grief.
It was. And there's a reason. I mean, I don't blame Anthony Richardson for yawning on the bench. I mean, the game was pretty boring. Can you really
Yeah.
blame him?
I was listening to the game. I had like the thing pulled up on my phone to watch it on the Xfinity Stream app. I was doing everything else but while I was listening to the commentary. That's about it. I was like, did Just
Mm-hmm.
Jefferson score? That's the only thing I cared
Yeah.
about because of fantasy. But everything else, I was.
Good night.
Yeah.
All right. Last game. Great game, actually.
No,
Tampa
this was a real
Bay,
game.
Kansas City Chiefs. Great Monday night game. Entertaining as hell. Patrick Mahomes. He's back. He's finally back. 3 touchdown passes. He was phenomenal this game, man. Even
Yeah.
when he had that little injury scare, he still
Mm-hmm.
came back and he still
Until he
delivered when it
went,
mattered
he went
most.
into that tent and listen. Some black magic occurred in that tent because he came out jogging and all kind of stuff.
Let me
But yeah,
read you
man.
these stats.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me read you these stats. This is Patrick Mahomes, vintage Patrick Mahomes at his best. 34 for 44, 291, 3 touchdowns, a passer rating 116, 0 turnovers. That's the Patrick Mahomes I know. Not that not that dude the past 8 weeks. No, this is the Patrick Mahomes I know from all the years he won the Super Bowl and MVPs as well. Continue, please.
They done messed up giving that man DeAndre Hopkins. There was some tight spots in the game where you get a number one dude, an actual dude, and he can bail you out in them situations, and it opens up the offense for everybody else. Just wait until Pacheco comes back. Oh man, Kareem
Yeah,
Hunt was
Kareem
getting his
Hunt.
game off, and
What?
he looked he looking kind of slow out there. But
Don't matter.
the Chiefs, we can't beat these guys. It's ridiculous. But I
They're
will say
inevitable.
salute to the Buccaneers though. This
They
game
play
was
hard.
much closer than a lot of people would have expected. A lot of people was like, "Oh, they don't have Godwin, or Mike Evans, and they're going against the Steve Spagnuolo. This ain't gonna be close." No, it was close.
Close.
And Baker, he played
Played the
turnover
game.
free football. Yeah,
He did. He did.
he was feeding like the dudes was getting over. The run game was it was decent.
Man.
It had 5 yards of carry as a team, but it wasn't like a
Yeah.
singular guy that went crazy. But the other
Mm-hmm.
guys stepped up. Kate Otten had a good game. Yeah, they tried as much as they could. I do wish in that moment. I know it's easy to say that hindsight is 2020, but in that moment, you tie the game. Honestly, you should have just went for
2-point
two.
conversion.
Yeah,
Yeah. I was
and I
thinking
think
about it too. I
and I
was like,
think and that's like I think an offensive minded coach probably would have went for two there.
yeah.
Because if it's one person I'm not trusting, uh, in overtime, it's Satan's greatest soldier, Pat Mahomes. That's one dude I ain't trusting to beat an OT.
Nope. You don't want to get the ball back to him. And yeah, man, I think at that time, I understand the defense stopped Mahomes and they were able to go back. They were able to get the ball back and score and tie the game. But dog, it's Mahomes, it's the Chiefs. They've been playing pretty good offensively the entire game. Do you really trust your defense in that spot? I don't. And I know hindsight is 2020. Like you can't just because I was debating it back and forth, like, I don't know, like it is very risky, but you're on the road. It's the Chiefs, it's Patrick Mahomes.
You lost your
You gotta
last
go for
three, I
two.
believe. You got to do something.
Yeah. And then like your backs are against the wall, like your record, the Falcons, they're running away with the division. You got to do something. You got to take risk. And the offense was grooving too. You scored with ease. I just think that was a missed opportunity.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. All right, that'll do it for all the games of week 9. Let's transition. What we got here today. Getting my notes right now. So, top 5 QB performances for week 9. This is a new segment I will be doing every week. I will be listing the 5 QBs that I thought had tremendous performances during the week. So, without further ado, let's get started. I'm about to pull it up right now. Number 1. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? It's Patrick Mahomes. He's finally back. Oh my God. In back-to-back weeks, Patrick Mahomes has been tremendous. It looks like the trade for DeAndre Hopkins has worked wonders. He finally has a receiver he can trust and go to when it matters most. And boy, oh boy, did he. 34 for 44, 291 passing, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, a passer rating of 116.8. You can't ask for much. And he delivered in the clutch like he always do. I think he's 8-2 in overtime. So, man, do you really want to play Patrick Mahomes in overtime? Because chances are he's going to deliver most of the time. And did he not deliver yet again? Oh, my God. Number 2 on my list, I got to go with Joe Burrow. 5 touchdown passes against the Raiders. Now, albeit it is the Raiders, but my God, Joe Burrow put on a master class. he was just tremendous this game, efficient. He's been having a really, really great year. It's just unfortunate the Bengals haven't been really winning much games, but man, he has been just dominant this entire season, and five touchdown passes, and you can't beat it. He's been absolutely unstoppable this season. And salute to Joe Burrow. All right, I want to go to Kirk Cousins. Yet again, oh my God, Kirk Cousins. Ever since I put him on a fraud watch list, he has just been proving me wrong. He said, Aaron, I ain't no fraud. I don't know what you're talking about. And guess what? He was slinging that football against them Cowboys. I already told you the stats a while ago, but I'm gonna say it again. He had over 200 yards passing. He had 3 touchdowns. He had 0 interceptions. He was automatic. He was tremendous. He was very efficient. I think he was 19 for 24 passing. Man, this dude was automatic. It seems like that Zach Robinson offense is really translated, and they're finally finding a groove. They're finally reaching their potential like we thought they were. And Darnell Mooney, he's looking like a really good receiver now. Obviously Drake London, you still have Bijan Robinson and Kyle Pitts. Those boys are really hooping right now, and we got to salute them for that one. Let's go to the other quarterback on the list. We got to go with Josh Allen, winning a nail biter against the Miami Dolphins, a divisional opponent. And Josh Allen, he put on that Superman cape when it mattered most, and he delivered, got a field goal range, and they won the game by 3 points, 3 touchdown passes, only 1 interception. But he was efficient. He was doing a lot of things. There's a reason why he's in the MVP discussion right now. Let's go to the other quarterback on the list. I can't do a quarterback. I can't do a top 5 QB performances without the man himself, the MVP frontrunner himself, Lamar Jackson. Yet again, Brian knows this. He puts Lamar Jackson damn near every week on his salute segment, but I'm gonna put him on my top 5 QB performances. 3 touchdown passes, very efficient. The dude just is allergic to turning the football over. He's been just tremendous this entire season, and yet again against the Denver Broncos, one of the better defenses in the NFL, like one of the best defenses in the NFL, and it did not matter. He was still great as always. In my opinion, the second best QB behind the best, which is Patrick Mahomes. And shout out to
Oh, it seems to be that Aaron has frozen. So that was his top 5 QB list. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Hold on. You might be back.
Yeah,
Okay, we back.
Yeah, we back though. We back. Yeah. So how you feeling, man? Real quick, how you feel about the QB list?
I like it. I agree with the selections. You pretty much got, honestly, you stole a couple of my salute segment guys. But you know what? We're gonna switch it up this week. I got backups. I got backup plans.
Mm-hmm.
So
No, you can still,
I like the list.
you can still have the guys. It don't really matter. It don't really matter. You can still put some of them dudes on there, or you can add more guys on the list. It don't really matter. But I ain't gonna lie. It was a good week for QB play. It was a lot of good QBs that had tremendous games. But ultimately, I think these are the 5 that I came up with because of just the stats, situationally, what they had to overcome. And I just like what they did this week. I think they well deserved, and they did their thing. All right, that'll do it for top 5 QB performances. I want to get Brian to the salute segment,
the people's favorite segment. Well, it's going to be a little tough to follow up that performance of that top 5 QB list, but we're going to switch it up a little bit this week. I know we usually have the usual suspect, usually have Lamar Jackson on it. We're going to switch it up this week just for the one time. And we're going to start it off with, everybody's seen this play a billion times. First number 1 member on the salute segment is Saquon Barkley. I mean, this dude is unreal. He's playing like he just came fresh out of Penn State. 27 carries, 159 yards, and a touchdown. That's 5.9 yards a carry, people. And not only is he toting the ball effectively, he's jumping over people backwards. You can't even do that in Madden if you wanted to, man. Salute to Saquon Barkley. I still hate the Eagles. Next on the list, come on, man. You know I couldn't leave off wide receiver one in the league, Justin Jefferson, off the list. Let me tell you something. He gave the Colts everything they asked for, and then some. 7 yards. You crazy? 7 receptions, 137 yards. For those people that's listening, that's almost 20 yards a catch. Insane. Shout out the salute to Justin Jefferson. And we got number 3 for the first time on this salute segment. We got Zay Flowers, second-year wide receiver, Baltimore Ravens, 5 receptions, 127 yards, and not one, but 2 touchdowns against one of the best defenses in the league of the Denver Broncos. 25 yards per catch. You just can't make that up. Oh, you thought we was going to forget. No. This man is a regular on the salute segment, and it's Derrick Henry. Come on now, it's Derrick Henry. You know we couldn't leave my guy off the list. Derrick Henry, 23 carries, 106 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Again, this is against a top 10 Broncos defense. Doesn't matter. Derrick Henry, he gonna give you everything you want. That is the salute segment for week 9.
Great. I like it. Changed it up a little bit.
Skill position edition.
It's great. Yeah. Like what you did there. All right. Last topic on the day. We're another new segment that we're gonna do real quick, and it's pretty much ties into our QB tier list, right? And it's called the QB stock rise or fall. And what we're going to do is pretty much we're going to look at certain QBs and we're going to say, hey, after their performance in week 9, did their stock rise or did they fall? And I have a list of QBs that I have selected that I feel like had great performances and that deserve their stock to be, up. And then there's other QBs that had bad performances, and I say, yeah, they declined for sure. So without further ado, also, by the way, just because their stock has climbed up does not mean that they're all of a sudden going to go from like he alright to he's a dude. It just means that they're on their way. They're moving on up. They're climbing the ladder little by little to eventually being a part of that group. But without further ado, here is just the names that I have. So, number 1 on the list, stock that has risen. Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers last week, I got to say, I was impressed against the Houston Texans. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions. Had an amazing, well, I wouldn't say amazing, but Devontae Adams, he had a touchdown pass, and then he also had a touchdown pass to Garrett Wilson. He was very efficient that game. He took care of the football. That is the Aaron Rodgers that we know and we were used to. And he showed itself against the Houston Texans that were, they were dealing with injuries, but at the end of the day, a win is a win. And he played well. So his stock has risen. Number 2 on the list, I mentioned him before on my top 5 QB performances, but I've been very critical about this man, mainly because he's on my fantasy team. Patrick Mahomes, his stock is on the climb up because the past 2 weeks he has been nothing but tremendous. Getting DeAndre Hopkins has changed life for this Kansas City offense. And my God, Patrick Mahomes, he's finally back. He's finally back to looking like the best QB in the NFL. And boy, oh boy, it feels good. Number 3 on my list, I got to go with Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford, although he threw an interception, it does not matter because what he did against that Seattle team, against that Seattle defense, he was clutch when he needed to. He made the plays he needed to, and he just delivered like the top 10 QB I know he is. And he's starting to really get it rolling lately ever since he was able to get back Cooper Kupp. And Puka Nacua, he was out for most of the game because of what he did on the field. So yeah, man, salute to Matthew Stafford. Joe Burrow is number 4, 5 touchdown passes. He was tremendous, efficient against a bad Raiders team, but 5 touchdown passes, 5 touchdown passes. Number 6, Kirk Cousins. Again, another great game from Kirk Cousins, efficient against the Cowboys. And I said number 6. That was number 5. Number 6, Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, he's been turning the ball over a lot lately, but this game he was very efficient. He nearly won the game. If Todd Bowles had some guts, he would have elected to go for 2, and they would have potentially won the game. But you can't control a coin flip. You can't control a coin flip. All you can do is just pray that it goes your way. And unfortunately, it went the Chiefs' way, and they couldn't get the ball back. And hey, can't do much about that. And then let me get to player QBs that their stock has fallen. Jordan Love. He has to take care of the football, and he has to be more disciplined. He's just been very sloppy these past few weeks. I gotta be difficult with him. I gotta be hard because I'm a Packers fan, but I'm also objective, and he just hasn't been playing really good football lately, especially last week. Joe Flacco. You had that one good game with the Colts. You had 2 good games with the Colts, but buddy, you're showing your age and you're showing why you're a backup QB. Number 3, I hate to say it, DMV guy, but Caleb Williams. Stock is falling. Yeah, I'm gonna just leave it at that. Sam Darnold. He's starting to get exposed a lot more. He's turning the ball over a lot more. We're starting to see why he's been a journeyman around the league and why teams are continuously letting him go or trading him. It's because he's not all that great. You can win some games with him, but you're not going to win big with Sam Darnold as your QB. So, all right, and then lastly, Bo Nix. Like Brian said, he's hot and cold. Bad game against the Ravens. Just a bad game against the Ravens. He just wasn't able to do much. Only 10 points scoring. And that is my stock rise and my stock fall for QBs on my QB tier list.
Okay. We pretty much agreed on almost all of these selections. So I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm going to have to play some people. I'm gonna have to change some people around, some tiers. My biggest stock fallers though would have to be Geno Smith. You was in prime position to put these cats away. You at home, you need a win badly. Jackson Smith the Jigger was having a phenomenal game, and you just couldn't do it. Kept turning the ball over. Bo Nix, terrible performance. The Ravens defense isn't elite or anything. They haven't been playing like it, and you looked out of sorts the whole game. So I can't really. Yeah. Caleb Williams, I hate to say it, but I think the wall is being hit as of right now, and your offensive coordinator isn't doing you any favors, and your number 1 wide receiver giving half effort on routes, and it's just a bad situation, man. Everyone thought this Bears offense was going to be one of the top in the league, and Shane Waldron said, "Ha, watch this." Jordan Love. Man, oh man, this kind of hurt. Everyone was putting him in top 10 talks after the season he had last year, and now he's closer to 15 than 10 at this point. And it's this sad state of affairs. Let's see, any other stock droppers? Oh yeah, Joe Flacco, you have been regulated. I had you on the tier list as not enough reps, but I think I'm gonna put you in, put the fries in the bag to you, because that was a shocking display. And yeah, I think that's it for stock. But stock risers, I'm gonna place Tua in the B tier. I didn't have him place. He didn't play enough good, but he had a really good game against the Bills. He only threw 3 incompletions. He was 25 for 28, 2 touchdowns. I mean, he was playing good ball. I can't lie. He's beating the CTE allegations at this point. He's playing really solid football, and hey, I'm gonna put him in the B tier now. Um, oh yeah, my bad. How did I forget the most important? We have another demotion. I'm sorry, I jumped the gun. Derek Carr,
Oh
you
man.
wasn't hot and cold. Now put the fries in the bag, bro. Because good grief, you done got your wide receiver one put on, got a concussion. Yeah, man, put the fries in the bag, Derek Carr. Um, I think, yeah, stock risers, obviously Matt Stafford, clutch overtime game. Pat Mahomes, even though he was already in my S tier. Uh, who else? Oh, Joe Burrow, even though he was already high tier for me. Uh, I think Justin Herbert got a little bit of stock rise against that in that game against the Browns. Let's see who else. Who else? Uh, Baker Mayfield, of course. Baker Mayfield, he gets some stock rise for that performance against the Chiefs. That Spagnola defense, who have shut down many a QB. Baker said, I'm gonna beat the odds, even with the hurt receiving core. We're gonna find a way, and they made this game close. I honestly could have won the game if they probably would have went for two. But hey, it is what it is. And I believe that is. Oh yeah, Kirk Cousins. Duh, Kirk Cousins. Stock for Kirk Cousins going up. Lamar, it's Lamar Jackson. I mean, of course,
Yeah,
his stock
pretty much a
continues to
push.
rise as his MVP campaign. But other than that, I think that's about it.
Mm, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, not much really else to say. Kirk Cousins, he looking like Kirk O'Chains. You know what I'm saying? He got some swag to him now. It
Hmm.
seemed like he's starting to get his swag back a little bit. So good for Kirk Cousins, overall. So I ain't got much to play. Uh since that's it, I want to thank you all for watching the stream. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below, hit the notification bell, follow the socials as well. And also check out our other channel, Courtside View Podcast NBA, where we do NBA talk. We're sort of shift. We have two channels now. We have one that's just NFL, and then we have one that's NBA. So yeah, if you like NFL, stay on this channel. If you like NBA as well, then go to the other channel. I'll put the link in the description. Thank you guys for watching, and peace. All right.